So you don't shun the devil with your rock and roll load. Knows that country music's gonna save your soul. The devil finds his groove in them rhythm and blues that send. It's gonna get you sun in the end.
Welcome back to the Speakeasy. I'm Sother Teague.
I'm Greg Benson.
And I'm Charlotte Boise.
Welcome back, Charlotte.
So, Charlotte, it's great to have you back. We've been talking a lot about Tales of the Cocktail and the TOTC Foundation, but now let's tell our listeners about you. People in our line of work may know you as the Hendrix Lady, but what a lot of people probably don't realize is that you eventually oversaw 100 brand ambassadors across 40 countries for William Grant & Sons. So after working with bartenders on 6 different continents, what surprises you about the things that are universal?
Wow. Yeah, I would almost say nothing surprises me now, having done a role for so long with, we all know what brand ambassadors are like. They're wonderful characters. It's a lot to manage. So 100 across 40 different cultures and countries is pretty incredible. But I think what maybe a nice surprise, a takeaway, is that the sort of language of bartenders, and this might sound a little cheesy, but the sort of language of bartenders truly does transcend borders and languages, like spoken languages. I think there's something, it's almost like, the magicians in the Harry Potter world, and everyone else is a muggle. Kind of when you're on that side of understanding hospitality and bartending, there's just this innate understanding of sort of what's important, what people like to celebrate and appreciate about each other. And that's definitely something that I love about our industry, whether it's with the bartenders we get to work with or as a team of brand ambassadors.
I love it. I mean, like, an unspoken language is certainly a way to put it that I wholeheartedly agree with, because I deal with people from all over the world as well. And, we have this simpatico that's, I think, unlike any other industry. Charlotte, you've experienced almost every possible angle of our field. You're a fierce competitor, you're a bartender, educator, ambassador, mentor, awards chair, and now executive director. What version of Charlotte taught, I'm botching it. Which version of Charlotte taught today's Charlotte the most?
Your questions are great here. Which version of Charlotte taught current Charlotte the most? I think about this a lot, and I think I always go back to being a bartender and just the tremendous gift that is. Not only do you get to learn how to multitask, which you take into every other facet of your life, but it's the empathy and the people skills. I think I still remember going from bartender to being a bar manager. You sort of think, don't have to work as hard as I used to. Going from a bar manager to a brand ambassador, you kind of feel guilty because you're like, now I'm not working as hard as I used to. And then the more I sort of progress in my career, I always think back to just the hard slog work it is being a bartender. Tremendous rewards, but it's physical and it's mental work. It's a lot. So I think the time I spent as a bartender will always be the formative founding years of me as an adult, both in my professional and private life.
I love it.
And speaking of bartenders, you've met thousands of them over your career. Beyond just the drinks that they make, what's a quality that makes someone memorable? What makes someone really stand out to you?
I think that for a bartender, that quality to make you feel welcome, right? It's a bit of an X factor. Some of it is as simple as eye contact and a quick smile, but it's the idea that they genuinely are happy to see you. It doesn't have to be anything overboard, but it's that warmth you feel from someone who is just interested in the fact that you're sitting at their bar, that they've got time for you. And I think you notice those things when a bartender's busy, but also when it's quiet. You notice just that intentionality when someone is paying you attention for that moment that you're there with them.
Your perspective is so zoomed out because of all the positions that you've held over your career. I think that, you've got a real bird's eye view of our industry at large. And because you're talking to bartenders from, Tokyo, Sao Paulo, London, Johannesburg, New York City, what's going on out there that's exciting you right now?
For me, it's exciting, again, to travel. I think is such a gift. I've been to Africa twice this year alone, and it's so exciting to see other bartenders with their cultures and their ingredients, just putting together drinks in a completely different way, different flavor combinations, using ingredients perhaps I've never heard of, right? Or it might be a different selection of spirits because they have some homegrown spirits that I've not come across before, or they don't necessarily get the same imported spirits. So you're just working from like a completely different palette of flavors to begin with. You get so used to what's available in the US, which arguably is a lot. So that excites me when you're kind of put in a whole new version of the game and you see what drinks come out. And sure, there's global influence everywhere, right? Like you can get a clarified milk punch version of most drinks pretty much anywhere on the planet these days, right? Because of all the influence that goes around from the big cities. But what excites me is going to some of there's either the smaller countries or the lesser known places and seeing what their creativity is putting out based on what's available to them, which is going to be different.
Well, we're here on Thursday of Tales of the Cocktail 2026. I've been wondering this whole time, what does the festival look like to you? Do you have time to attend a seminar or like drop into a tasting room, or are you just kind of running from meeting to meeting to meeting for 5 days? What is Charlotte's Tales of the Cocktail experience?
Yeah, so it's different to what it used to be, right? Typically, the mornings are very busy. We have a beautiful executive suite at the Ritz-Carlton. It's on the top floor of the Ritz, and it's as fancy as it sounds, with a beautiful patio overlooking the city. And we hold meetings up there with some of our top sponsors, some of the board of directors, any sort of friends that are in town. So mornings are usually spent up there. And then I'll kind of hit the floor of the Ritz-Carlton. And that's, well, I'll pop into tasting rooms. I'll duck into a seminar or two. And then it's the offsite events as well. So I try to plan out my days to hit the events or see the people rather that I really want to see and thank them for their contributions to Tales. But I'll always try and leave a few gaps, right, to potentially grab something to eat. Or just have those moments where you know what it's like. You're walking down the street at Tales and you like, I want that time to just bump into people that I hadn't planned on seeing and just have those conversations and, you know, maybe follow them to the next event and hang out for a bit. So I'll probably plan out 50% really hard and then leave 50% of my time up for, let's see where the wind takes me, because there's so many events, you know, you're going to end up somewhere fun.
Yeah, right. Like that's part of the charm of Tales for me every year. I leave lots of gaps in my schedule because I know, as you just said, walking down the street, I'm going to bump into someone. They're going to say something. We're going to walk together. We're going to go someplace that I hadn't even planned to go. And it's going to be outstanding because everything at this festival is frankly outstanding. Before we bring in today's guest, tell us about one person, one seminar, or one moment at Tales that is sparking your imagination today.
Yeah, so this year at Tales, we've celebrated Capri Robinson as our US catalyst. Capri is super inspirational to me and so many others. And on Friday at Tales, Capri is hosting her event, which is called the Community Cut Up. It's a super cool, relaxed, great way to kind of round out the week at Tales of the Cocktail. That's on Friday afternoon. So Capri inspires me, and I'm certainly looking forward to that event.
Yeah.
Well, guys, it's your last day in the pool, so you ready to head on over?
Oh, yeah, we're going. I'm ready.
Born ready. Welcome back to Tales of the Cocktail 2026. We are here in New Orleans at the House of Procera Poolcasting with two guests from Vandell in Los Angeles. We have Vu and Shawn. Guys, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, nice. Thank you for having us.
Yeah, you were up for what's the award you're up for again this year?
We're up for Best New U.S. Cocktail Bar.
Amazing. Congratulations. And it has been a hell of a year for you all, hasn't it?
It's been nuts.
A hell of an 8 months, actually. I should correct and say that.
Yeah. We opened, ironically, December 5th, Repeal Day.
Oh, that wasn't planned?
No.
So December 5th, of course, Repeal Day. I just assumed that was the plan.
No, it was, we were giving our team a little break right before Thanksgiving. So we're like, oh, let's do it the next Friday after Thanksgiving, which happened to be December 5th.
Amazing. So a lot then has happened in that short 8-month span. How does it, what's it been like to become a destination bar that quickly?
We weren't really sure what was going to happen when we opened. It was, we're in a really terrific neighborhood called Los Feliz in Los Angeles. Has a really great neighborhood. A lot of people compare it to East or West Village in New York. a lot of foot traffic, a lot of younger professionals, just really hungry for something new in their neighborhood. But we, you never know when you're opening anything if anybody's going to show up. So the first night for the Friday, with barely any kind of social media or any kind of PR, I think Eater did a quick article about us the day before, and then opening at 5 p.m. we had, I don't know, 300 people show up.
Wow.
And we can only take in 75 seats, and then we allow 20 or so to stand, 25 or so to stand. So a lot of people didn't get in.
but that makes them want to come back again the next night.
It was very overwhelmingly, humbling to be like, I just had no idea. So, and it's just been continuous every night since.
I love that.
Incredible.
So speaking of the bar's been commended for feeling kind of like a neighborhood spot rather than like a hype spot, which is difficult to pull off. Like authenticity is not something that you can, create in a lab. What was sort of your approach to creating that vibe and that feel?
Well, I've said this before and I get shit for it. We kind of say it's a bar for the neighborhood. And essentially that just means that we designed the concept around Los Feliz. When you're in the bar, there's little Easter eggs kind of peppered throughout the mural.
Spritz.
That's
Oh yeah, we got some spritzes coming in here for delivery. Thanks.
Thank you.
yeah, the mural that's behind the bar. It's a map of Griffith Park.
Thank you.
We have some little things like representing the Disney studios that used to be in the neighborhood. So we basically were like, let's do something that's ambiguous California concept, but based around a particular neighborhood.
Well, all cheers to that. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break to toast to some Luxardo. They're sponsoring the episode today.
Breakfast of champions, baby. Hey, come here. Float over this way real quick. Did you know that Luxardo makes an espresso liqueur and that it's decaf? That's right. In addition to their famous Luxardo Maraschino, which, as we all know, is celebrated in classics like the Hemingway Daiquiri and The Last Word in bars all over the world, they have an espresso expression too. It's crafted with real Italian espresso, so it has that rich, velvety texture that you want without making a martini that'll keep you up all night. Oh, and one more thing. You don't need to refrigerate the cherries either. Boom, there you go. 2 pieces of mind-blowing info in the same 30-second spot. So check out the espresso, the classic cherry, and see what other surprises Luxardo has in store at luxardousa.com.
So yeah, you got kind of like blitzed on opening. Every new bar has dozens of ideas that never make it to opening day. What's something you were convinced would work that ended up hitting the cutting room floor?
It's tough to say. Usually when you have a vision in mind, like you actually don't know if people actually align with that or if it's going to work, right? So it's kind of like you just kind of believe in what you want and to put out there and hope for the best, honestly. Like it's kind of like a little bit of like hope and pray.
I mean, I'm on record all the time as saying, like, because I've opened a bunch of places, you got to plan your work, you got to work your plan, and in the end, you have to be flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, initially, Vay and I had a pop-up called Double Dragon. That was the concept that we were kind of pitching in the beginning. And we just basically let the space dictate the concept instead of doing the other way. We're trying to force something into it.
Yeah, and that space was not for Double Dragon. It was definitely a good neighborhood spot. So we pivot pretty early on about that.
Well, I want to ask about your approach to making drinks, because this is something that I get shit for a lot from a dear friend of mine who's a listener. Hey, buddy. Because you do a lot of takes on classics at your place. And that seems to me, as an outside observer, to be much more interesting to you creatively than like reinventing the wheel. But how do you know when you've updated a classic versus creating something entirely new? Is there a particular... What's the line in the sand where you feel like it becomes an entirely new drink?
Oh, it's interesting. I mean, with classics, we all know it's like you can make some of the classic specs and you just go like a Poet Stream's a great example. Our Poet Stream, we had Pisco and we had a Quince liqueur plus the Benedictine gin, dry vermouth. It's The cocktail itself, if you ever have like the original, it's like equal parts, Benedictine, dry vermouth, and gin. Mm-hmm. It's a little rough. So I think we always look at classics as, okay, a lot like cooking. When you think steak frites, there's a lot of ways you do steak frites. You don't have to just make the same steak. It's always a different cut. It could be a lot of different things that go into it. What the sauce is that you use for your fries, if you have a sauce with your steak. So we kind of look at it the same way, that it's you're taking a classic template or a classic idea, but initially, whenever it becomes something else, we tend to lean more towards California's macro seasons and doing a lot more like produce driven things. So a lot of times it'll be based around a classic that ends up becoming a feature produce that we're
okay, interesting. I'm super interested in why people find themselves pulled in a certain direction creatively. Like, can you sort of put your finger on why that was your approach to make the menu the way you did?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of an embodiment of previous programs that Vay and I are a part of. Working with Walter Mansky at Republique, BC Quiet, and Mansky was always based around their food. We were kind of bridging the gap between the back house and front of house, which I always think that's the way bars should operate. You're supposed to be kind of a chef, you're kind of cooking things and whatnot, but you're forward facing, you're talking to guests. And so with that program, it was highly produce driven. We would change that cocktail menu almost weekly. So just depending on what we pick up at the market. So it's got a little bit of that in there. Vay makes exceptional savory cocktails, which one of the cocktails on our menu is called smoked tomato.
Oh yeah, had it, loved it.
Yeah, most people they get it at first. They think it's Bloody Mary, and you don't get it. It's a clarified cocktail. That cocktail started from working with the Manskys. They have a really great tuna tartare toast dish. That's bluefin tuna with smoked tomato and caviar. It's one of the best bites in the city. But they had all this leftover tomato juice that we started making cocktails with, first with the actual Bloody Mary for brunch, and then eventually it became the cocktail that's on our menu that they had come up with.
Yeah, that drink, I feel like has that kind of become the signature drink of the place? That's the drink that seems to get the most press.
It was interesting that we actually didn't know it was going to, take off like way it took off. It's definitely by far our highest seller, but double any cocktail for sure.
Yeah. Can confirm it's delicious.
Oh yeah.
And it takes a long time to make it, which is good and bad at the same time. Right? Like you put it on at work and no one drinks it. That sucks.
Takes you 2 days to make.
Right. If you're gonna devote all that prep time and energy, you may as well have it fly out the door. Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to visit you at Mansky, which had that incredible, mind-blowing vintage spirits list. Did you bring any of that aspect into Vandell?
Yeah, we did. So when we built out the back bar, we procured it with a lot of our own spirits that we collected. So when I was doing Mansky, a lot of those spirits I was purchasing through auctions, like Gray Market or Widowed Estates, and then I would purchase it myself and I would sell it to the restaurant to plug it in. And
a little double dipping.
Yeah. But when those restaurants closed, I ended up with.
Did you inherit?
Yeah. Well, I didn't inherit what was on the back bar. All that went to Republique, but what I still had probably 5 or 6 cases of things that were just sitting in my house. So we ended up putting those on a little bit of time, which is kind of fun because I've always kind of looked at it as, with vintage classics, you'll see $600 Sazeracs, something stupid like that. And I always look at it as that it's not like finding a truffle. The cocktails meant to be drank, truffles meant to be eaten, but there's not. If I had the opportunity to buy something for the right price, I'd treat it just like I do any other cocktail.
Sure.
How I price it out. So, for example, at Mansky, we would get a exceptional old Benedictine, like early 1930s Benedictine that I think I paid $25 for.
Right.
So I had it on the menu for like $7 for 1 ounce.
Wow.
So it just gave people the opportunity to drink things that you're never going to get that in a regular bar. So
passing the savings on to you.
Yeah. So we did the same thing at Vandell. We have a vintage sidecar on right now is 1960s Hein. No vintage Cointreau or anything like that. Just the cognac, and it's only $25.
I mean, that's great, and it certainly probably like entices your clientele to like be a little bit more adventurous.
Yeah, well, we wanted to do something with our menu too that's kind of spreading the price out. Like one of the things that Vay and I really listened to about what we heard around Los Angeles was that the price of cocktails is just astronomical, and we're trying to figure out ways to how do we bring the cost down? How do we get back to this idea that you can have an exceptional cocktail experience and it's be affordable? And that was part of it too. So we wanted to have affordable cocktails, but then if you want to do something that's high level, you definitely could.
Yeah, the vintage cocktail is interesting because like everyone sees the price on it and like, man, Vandell's so expensive. Like this is a $25 cocktail, a $40 Negroni, but like we only have one bottle of those things and we just buy at a certain cost and we offer it at almost like it doesn't move the needle. There's only 13 cocktails in a bottle, right? Like how much do you have to like cost out to actually make any money on that?
Right.
So we just offer it at the fair price that we buy it at. And we bought it at a very expensive price. Like it was $40. We're spending a lot of money on that bottle, but like to like cost it out in a way where like it's a ripoff. Like there's only 13 cocktails, and the share experience of like 13 other people that you don't know have the same cocktail and same experience you have. That, and once it's gone, right? Like you don't have you're having a choice, and it's a really cool experience to know that this is the only time or last time I could have this cocktail, and at least we could find a source of another gin or another, but it'll be slightly different, right? And yeah, sure, it's expensive, but at the same time, it's like, what are we making on it? Like,
right?
Yeah,
nothing.
Yeah. I just noticed for the first time what's on your hat. It's a smoking tomato. I got that. I got there in the end.
I'm just noticing it too. Yeah.
Well, hey, let's take a quick break. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors, and we'll be coming back with the guys from Vandell. Stay tuned. We are here poolside with Laura and G from Luxardo. You might have seen them earlier doing some nice spritz delivery for us during that podcast. People always say that podcasting is strenuous work, but I don't think they really appreciate what we have to go through in this business,
Hey, it's so hard. I mean, we're in a pool right now. It's just the conditions are harsh.
Tell us a little bit about these delightful drinks you brought out for us here.
Yeah, so, we're an Italian brand. We like to keep it light and spritzy, especially this early in the day. And then, so we just went for some Luxardo Bitter Bianco. It's got more of a sort of like lemony citrus sort of flavor to it. So obviously that pairs perfectly with the grapefruit. And then we heard that you're a champagne man. Or Laura said,
Sean's a champagne man, yeah.
I'm not a champagne man.
Not a champagne man.
Yeah.
I think Sean is a little more notorious for being a champagne man.
Yeah, so we decided to go French, stayed away from the classic Italian Prosecco, and put some nice verve in the top for a touch of class.
I love it. So that's what we have here in front of us. We've got the Bianco and the bitter. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. The Bianco is really fun. I love how clear it is. You can, add it to a cocktail without adding that bitter Rosso profile and making the drink red. It's kind of nice to eat with the eyes first. And I just love how light, grapefruity, kind of citrusy it is.
Yeah.
Tell me about the classic. What is the relationship here between these and the Luxardo Maraschino that I'm sure if anyone's familiar with any of Luxardo's products is that one?
Yeah. I mean, so first it's pronounced maraschino.
Okay.
And you have to go like this.
Maraschino.
Perfect.
Also
You're natural.
Yeah.
But not when you're holding a spritz.
Well, yeah, if I'm holding a spritz, I can just kind of like shake it semi-menacingly at someone, and that kind of accomplishes the same thing, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Maraschino. There we
That's
go.
the one. So
I'm a natural.
Being a 205-year-old company, you kind of like pick up a few different tricks over the time. And obviously being an Italian company, you want to do things that are culturally appropriate. Like the bitters, that sort of whole Amari profile is something that is distinctly Italian. We've been trying our hand at it for quite a long time. The Bitter Bianco is obviously relatively new to the game. Just because it was so hard to get right. Because when you distill bitter things, they tend to not be bitter.
Mm-hmm.
You got bitter on the bowl, you can't have that. That took a while to do. That's pretty much the relationship.
Well, guys, thank you very much especially to Laura for getting in the pool with us today. We really appreciate it. Thank you to these bottles for being poolside, and thank you for being a good friend of this episode. Excited to see what our guys from Vandell have to say when we come back right now.
And we're back poolside at Tales of the Cocktail 2026 with the guys from Vandell, who are up for Best New American Cocktail Bar at this year's Spirited Awards at Tales of the Cocktail. Guys, you're out in LA, so let's take our listeners on a little tour of LA. If someone only had one weekend in Los Angeles, what should they experience? Not just drinks. What should they experience to understand the city's bar culture? And then beyond that as well, I'm a little interested in the dialogue and sort of rivalry that goes on between LA and our hometown of New York. What do you think what do you think makes the two the most different?
LA is interesting, right? Like, it's hard to spend a weekend there because it's so spread out. Like, there's a lot of cool people doing really fun stuff, and in terms of LA, you find a pocket of LA and kind of stick there, right? You don't go from downtown to like the West Side or even like West Hollywood or whatever, right? You just kind of find your neighborhood and you don't move from there because the drive is so long, right? Like, it's so far, which is a disadvantage in a lot of ways, right? Because the bar culture in New York is like you could hit up multiple places and be like, if I was in New York, I'd be like, oh, go to this place, since they're doing cool stuff right there and this way. But in LA, I'm like, hey man, like this guy's doing really cool stuff, but it's a 40-minute drive,
right?
No traffic, right? Like, it's
destination.
Like,
And it changes the way that the drinker reacts because they got to drive.
They got to drive, or like Uber rides are like $40 each way, so you're $80 in before like you could
exactly
even.
Your evening's budget is already cut into. Yeah,
it's done. So that's a huge disadvantage we have. But like the city itself has really cool bartenders, and they're excited and they're really doing really cool stuff. And it's I always tell people, like, you gotta go check out like especially our homies and stuff. Like, they're doing really fun stuff, and they definitely should get a shout out for it too.
Yeah. What do you think makes LA different from New York in the bar scene?
Oh, first, I mean, to go back, what we were talking about with our program, it's produce.
Yeah.
I mean, I think LA has the largest sector of private chefs in the country.
Mm-hmm.
So with that in mind, like, don't hate me, San Francisco, for saying this, but we end up getting the best farmers markets,
right?
Just because of that sheer vast of
there's demand.
Yeah, a lot of demand.
Yeah.
And in that sense, like, there's farmers markets every day of the week that they're driving down from Central Coast and coming up from, SoCal, from San Diego.
I mean, that's incredible. In New York, we have farmers markets too, but they're typically only once or twice a week. So every single day, that's mind blowing.
I would say San Francisco's farmers market is really good too.
Oh yeah, I used to live up there. And listen,
New York's farmers markets are fine. They're perfectly fine farmers markets.
Yeah, lots of potatoes. I know you're a great leader and team builder over your career. What's something you learned from a mentor that you still repeat to your own staff today?
What is a good one? I mean, I always love the it's not my mentor that everybody knows this statement I'm going to make. The Danny Meyer, like, hospitality begins with your coworker. Yeah. First and foremost, we feel that our bar it's hospitality. It's great that we have cocktails. It's great that we have a beautiful space. But first and foremost, if you can't do hospitality correctly, and if you can't do it willingly and want to do it, you're in trouble. So it's we're always harking on that, like, taking care of each other. Like,
I love it.
Yeah. And I also know that you really took your time and like really tried to learn a lot before you committed to building this. So what were you cooking on when you were taking that time off there?
Oh, that's a good question. Well, I started a job briefly, which was great because I'd always wanted to work on a wine program. So I got to work with Ludo Lefebvre for 6 or 7 months, helping him with all the Petit Trois and his other projects. But I was getting to run a bar program and the wine program too. And it's more of extensive wine. So I got to work with Dustin Wilson, who was Master Somm, used to be at 11 Madison Park. Mm-hmm. He's a terrific guy. So I got to learn a lot, got a lot of hands-on advice from him that I really appreciated. So when we opened Vandell, we wanted to have a wine program too. Again, we don't want to exclude anyone. So we'll do glasses of wine for $13, but you can have a glass of Krug for $60.
Okay. Yeah.
Love it.
What were you, the same question, like what in that interim liminal space between your last position and the opening of the bar, what were you doing to sort of solidify and gel the concept?
I was doing a lot of private events. Like I had a lot of private clients, and like we're doing a lot of consulting jobs, just kind of get by. Like we talked about opening bar for a very long time, and kind of just actually took our sweet time with it. Like we was like talking to a bunch of people before we partnered with Max and Michael at Parks Hospitality, which is amazing. But while it was getting hashed out and the build out and everything, and even like prior to that, it was like probably like a year or two of like this, the emptiness of it, right? So I was kind of finding ways to kind of float by. So a lot of private events, like a lot of like.
Were you using those to like kind of like test some waters on some potential concepts for the bar, or was it just completely?
No. It was mainly just to survival.
Yeah.
Also important. Yeah.
That's very important. If you didn't survive, you wouldn't be here now, right?
Yeah. So, but we test the cocktail side alone is like we have a lot of stuff in the back pocket, and the reality is we look at like certain seasonal stuff, and we kind of like what should we do with this? Like kind of work backwards sometimes. So we work in every different directions. But the cocktails itself, in terms of like the actual concept and space, I feel like it's actually very minimal compared to like how you feel in the space and the people around you. So like I think like a lot of bartenders in our space like get too caught up in like the technical stuff of the bartender. Like they get to the front of guests and start talking about like we do this and we do that, but like who cares?
Yes.
Who cares?
Hard agree. They don't care.
They don't care. Like,
They're there to have a good time. They were there to be seen,
Yeah.
feel cared for, feel heard.
Yeah, like I think sure the cocktails it could be good, maybe sometimes not good, but like like but it should be so secondary, right? Like the experience should be the people around you, the space, the communication, the neighborhood, like how you feel. Like you could have a really good drink at a bad place and never come back.
Correct.
You can have a really bad drink at a great place and go over and over again, right?
Yes.
It's so secondary, and it shouldn't be about. The cocktail shouldn't be a star. It should be an addition to the experience that you have. And it's
Speaking my language, buddy.
And we always have to remind our young bartenders that, like, because they get too caught up in this, like, the stardom of bartenders and the technical stuff and what they see online. It's like, oh man, the flame, the glory of it. I'm like, that's not it, man. Like you got to have a good team, you got to have good space, and the good people come back over and over again to see you. If you actually talk to them about something real versus what's in the glass,
Yeah.
And it's cool. Sometimes they look down and be like, this is good, but then move back to the conversation and not too focused on the glass too.
Right. Well, to kind of wrap things up out here in the pool today with you guys, things happened kind of slowly. It sounds like it took years to get there, but then suddenly things are happening all at once. And we know awards don't matter unless you win, but they are great at driving, revenue and exposure and getting asses in seats. Do they change the way you think about your work, or do they just validate what you're already doing?
I mean, it's validation. Everybody wants to be seen. You know, to know that you're. It's. I mean, as somebody that's ran programs that's made top 10 a lot, I've never had something in top 4. So it feels very special to me. It's an honor, yeah. And if we win or if we don't win, it doesn't matter. I still got the top 4. Yeah. And I love that this is a category that you can't do ever again.
Yeah. You get one shot at it.
We're next year.
You can only be best new once.
Yeah, rookie of the year. I think it's at the end of the day, I don't know if it's gonna move the needle, but it's super cool to get recognized by your peers, right? Like most of our people that come into Vandell like don't even know about this, right? Like they don't know about Tales of Cocktail or Top 50 or whatever. We're mostly neighborhood people, and they just really want to be in the space and hang out, So I don't know, like I could imagine like 80% of our clientele have no idea, how much of these awards are happening, and we don't really shout it out much at all, right? Like we just go on with our business and just like thank you for coming in, and I'm just honestly just happy to be busy.
Yeah.
I'm always saying, like, people ask to say if like, are you guys chasing awards? Are you trying to do this? And it's like, I mean, full honesty, we're just trying to run a business.
Yeah.
I mean, this is how Vay and I look at our future retirement, those kind of things. Like, I mean, obviously we would love to open up more spaces and
support our
in
family.
the future,
like,
but
that's the main thing.
But yeah, it's great to get awards and things like that. But at the end of the day, you just got to run a business still.
Yeah.
Yep.
Cheers to that.
Yeah. You got to show up every day and put in the work, right?
Yeah.
Well, speaking of showing up, we're here at Tales of the Cocktail in New Orleans, one of my favorite cities personally. I know near and dear to your heart, Sother, near and dear to a lot of our hearts. We always wrap up our regular podcast by asking our guests, where are you drinking these days, which is kind of a chance for them to shout out, maybe some favorite spots that they want to give a little love to. But because we are here in the Big Easy, where are you guys drinking this week? What are some spots you're trying to hit while you're here?
Been to a lot. Obviously, you can tell by my voice.
I thought that was just kind of like like a dulcet, yeah,
silky baritone.
Yeah.
It's been a lot of early mornings. I would probably say with most people, it's Chart Room.
Yes.
Yep.
Chart Room's my favorite place.
Chart Room's amazing, by the way. I go there. I used to live here. I go there all the time. My favorite bartender there, his name's Paulette. This is her 14th year being there, and she's one of the junior bartenders. Lisa, who works in the daytime, has been there for 42 years. Wow. Yeah. That's career bartending.
Give her a couple of raises.
Yeah, where are you drinking this week?
Yeah, I actually don't drink or go out and drink that much during Tales. I love to explore the city more, so I try to find where to go eat.
Okay.
A lot, as all these events and stuff are happening, I almost don't eventually go anywhere. I'm like, where's the next restaurant I'm gonna go? 'Cause I only have a few days here, and I only have a certain amount of meals I could do.
Sure.
And I'm like, okay, what can I do? Something new, and I've been to a lot of restaurants throughout the year, but this is the first time I went to Pesh, and it was incredible.
Oh man, one of my favorites.
Incredible! Oh my god, it was so cool. And then, and the city has so much good food here, and so diverse. And I think I don't get to explore that much, and that's the most exciting part. Last year I went to the Frenchman area, and then Tales of Cocktails not around, nothing's happening around there. That was such a cool vibe, man.
Yeah,
You
man.
go a random bar, and there's a
Live
band
music,
playing,
yeah. Mm-hmm.
And it's just you're just laying out mellow, and like, oh cool, and then now you move on to the next bar and get a bakery or go to the bakery and get a croissant or something like that. That's my goal. And when I come to Tales of Cocktails, trying to find the heartbeat of the city and run with it.
Well, Shawn Vay from Vandell, thank you so much for joining us today. We will see you tonight at the Spirited Awards. We'll be pulling for you guys, but congrats on the nod. Thanks to Luxardo for the spritz delivery today, and thanks to the two of you for jumping in the pool with us. It's been great.
Thank you so much.
We will see you, listener, on the red carpet as well for our next and last episode from Tales of the Cocktail. But until then, cheers everybody.
So you don't charm the devil with your rock and roll load. Knows that country music's gonna save your soul. The